Machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie, and I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. It's plain and simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn, your pawn, your pawn. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still
Welcome to the Monday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday. Welcome. We are live from Polymarket Studios. Welcome. How does everything sound, folks? Are we okay? Are we good? Can everybody hear me okay? Welcome, John Lithium, Derry Bennett, Bruno, Saris. 3 more days until 2026. Yeah, indeed. 2026 is basically here. It's here. It's here. We survived. We survived another trip around the sun, folks. Can you believe that? We survived another trip around the sun. How's it going, everybody? Hoping that wasn't my earbuds just now. Hopefully, everything is okay. Hopefully you can hear me. This is going to be the new setup going forward. Going forward. So. Eager, how's it going? Breaking Canadian news hot off the press. What's going on? What's going on? Let us know. Canadian-based socialist turns 33. Nice. I've heard he will be celebrating with steak and cheesecake. You sound good now. I've had some issues with my earbuds because they're cheap gas station replacements until I can get better ones. Gotcha. Okay, hey, as long as you can hear me okay, then we are good to go. We have quite the few quite the couple amount of stories to go through. Time for the pub. Enjoy the stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm assuming you're talking about yourself, in which case regardless, I will roll the round of applause. Hold on, folks. Regardless, I will roll the round of applause, and I appreciate you hanging out. Big up, have a nice one. Hey, thank you, Bunker Cat. Look at the community love. Look at that. Bunker Cat raiding in with a party of 15. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for raiding, and thank you for bringing your wonderful community over. Hey, if you haven't seen me before, I am A Difficult Truth. I do the news, I do the politics. I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, except this week, of course. If you enjoy the content and enjoy your stay, hit that follow button like a couple of you had. Thank you so much. Inshallah and Combustible Lemon and Yusuf, thank you so much. I appreciate the follows. Thank you. Have a big Sharam, take care. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. On Tuesdays at 7 p.m. we do a show on this space. So if you want to check that out, it is a 1-hour show that I do for this space. 7 p.m. every Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Alright, folks, let's get started. Hey, the same schedule is happening this week. So we will not have stream on Wednesday and Thursday. There will not be any streams. So that is the That's going to be the same schedule as last week. The 31st and the 1st, there will be no stream. Because I will be out and about and doing family stuff. So, yeah, Wednesday and Thursday of this week there will be no stream, but that's okay because we're gonna kick the new year in 2026. We're gonna hit the ground running. I hope. Seriously, I really hope. 2026 is much better than 2025. I suspect it will, but that is that's up to us. We gotta make it. We gotta do it. All right, folks. Real quick before we get started, it's time for me to do my usual shills. Hey, thank you all. If you want to support the channel directly, please check out these links here. Check out the merch store. Discord if you want to hang out. We do awesome stuff and there's awesome people in the Discord. Every weekend, mostly every weekend, pretty much every weekend we do movie events. So if you want to join, it's completely free. So check that out. And the Substack, yeah, do all that stuff. Michael Hassler coming in, thank you, I appreciate that. Heck yeah. It's a low bar to clear, I know. Will the Simpsons prophecy be fulfilled at last? Who knows? Find out on the next season of 2026. Alright folks, let's get started because today and tomorrow is gonna be a short this is gonna be a short week, folks. The New Year's upon us. Look at the New Year's upon us. Holidays are just about to end. So yeah, I love that emote. Let's get started.
This is going to come back to you.
Tribunals are coming.
You're domestic terrorists!
Donald Trump is propelling the United States of America to have its wokest era yet.
I hope so. I hope so. Look. I am a bit cynical, and I don't know how much of this is going to materialize. But the reality is, before we even get started on any of this, the reality is there has to be consequences. There has to be consequences in a just world. In a just world, there has to be consequences for all of this. Now, will there be consequences? The cynic in me says no. We haven't seen any consequences for any of the crimes that we've seen. So, I mean, if anything, watching the whole Epstein stuff unfold right in front of us, right? Like, us confirming who this guy really was, even prior to becoming a political figure, wanting to become a political figure. He's always been this guy, and he has yet to ever face consequences about any of this. Heat, how's it going? I got signed out and couldn't get back in for a minute. No problem. Glad you're here. So Life, welcome. Capitalism couldn't care less about justice. It actually, yeah, it really doesn't, right? Because what if justice is getting in the way of profits? Can't have that.
I truly don't think that conservatives comprehend yet just how intense the backlash is going to be when the Trump era finally comes to an end, because the extent to which this regime has destroyed the country cannot be overstated, and it is leading to unfathomable levels of anger and a desire for retribution among everybody else.
And just to be clear, just to be clear, it's not just about retribution, right? It's about justice. It's about upholding it's about upholding the rule of law and what's fair. It's not. I get that people are pissed, and rightfully so. We all should be angry. But I just want to make sure that we're focusing. We're focusing on the. We keep the eyes on the prize. You know what I mean? Opposite of caring about justice totally demolishes the notion with its celebration of entrenchment of the most positively arbitrarily distribution of power you could possibly imagine. Literally all these people, every single one in the ruling class, are fungible because it's not about anything to do with them personally, individually. It's their money. It's mere possession of a sufficient hoard of assets. That's the divide. Yeah, 1,000%. Made a nice pot of pintos. Gonna fix myself some cornbread and saute some kale for dinner. Nice. Where's everybody? Maybe my chant like raids do bring some people to chat. They do. Look at that. Right, vengeance is what people without hope settle for. Sheesh. And just to be clear, again, like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be angry, because you should. It's just a matter of like how the thought process with dealing with this. What we want is actually something rather more transformative. Justice. Yes, exactly. And it's not that these people don't deserve it either. They broke the law. They are literally destroying people's lives. They are shredding human rights by disappearing people. And none of that should stand. They're bombing random people in the Caribbean. They are trampling over everyone's human rights, including ours, by the way. You think that this stops with just undocumented people? It doesn't. It hasn't. It hasn't. I'd put it like this. It's not such a binary, really, but imagine it were. Imagine two buttons. One condemns all capitalists to hell, and then capitalism continues just run by, let's say, an AI overlord, so no human is responsible. Or a button that actually gives us democratic ownership, control, and the means of production. Yeah, I'll take the second one any day of the week. Right-wingers do not want justice either. They want vengeance and yeah, I get what you're saying, and dress it up as justice. I understand. Well, yeah, because right-wingers do want retribution. Right-wingers are absolutely, right-wingers absolutely want vengeance. That's what they want, because they want to punish people that they don't like. They're always looking for a scapegoat. The option, second option is a hell too. No, I think the second option seems more fair, I think. Yeah, they want to be the Punisher without realizing that the Punisher would be after people like them.
Trump had his retribution, and now everybody else wants their retribution. And I'm not just talking about woke extremist lefties. I'm talking about normie Americans who've become radicalized in response to the rise of fascism. And this sentiment is really starting to bubble up to the surface, to the point where people are taking notice of how even liberal wine mom types are noticeably more ruthless.
Well, now you ruined the joke I was gonna make. It's okay. We saved it. Punisher sticker in their trucks, yep. Did you know if you try anarcho-capitalism hard enough, it turns into communism? Sure. By the same method that you can turn rocks into gold.
And memes like this speak to what we're all seeing. Cringe Maoist LARPer. Have you considered the economic anxiety of those poor Trump voters? Nicole, suburban mom and successful corporate lawyer. Every Republican alive is an affront to God. And there's also variations of this meme where liberal wine moms who were once saying when they go low, we go high are now calling for the streets to turn red from the blood of the bourgeoisie tyrants. And these memes are obviously hyperbolic, but there's a kernel of truth in them. We've all seen this. Jennifer Welch, who's kind of viewed as the prototypical liberal wine mom, has sparked outrage on the right, specifically because of her hilariously vicious rants towards Trump supporters and how they should take their fat asses to Cracker Barrel instead of a Mexican restaurant, because they shouldn't be able to enjoy the benefits of multiculturalism if they're voting against it. And the reason why she's blowing up online, aside from her sheer talent, is because she's relatable in the sense that we can all see our own moms and aunties in her.
Yep.
Just speaking anecdotally, one of the nicest, most loving women I have ever known just randomly dropped a "I hope he dies" when Trump's name came up. And it caught me off guard. It was so funny because this is not...
That is kind of fun. You know, family dinners this year must be incredibly awkward, right? Can you imagine? I mean, like, I would say that most people would probably avoid, you know, Trump supporting family members, and I don't blame them, honestly. If you do. The inevitable demand for justice, the ruling class just insists perpetually on denial of ruling classes of every era, it seems. Yep. It's amazing how you could possibly foresee when you systematically make people's lives worse. Sooner or later, they're going to start to hate you on an appropriate proportion amount. We're all eagerly awaiting the news on that event. Yep. China's AI success will rest on the billions invested in the US, the open source nature of the model in China, and the cheap electric infrastructure in China. Yep. I don't talk to my MAGA family, and I don't blame you. Honestly, I don't blame you. Why do you have to subject yourself to that? It's 2025. It's 2025. If they didn't figure it out by now, and they want to continue to support such a horrible person, then you shouldn't be forced to be around them, and that's okay. Mayhem Hippie, welcome. Welcome. It's Maha, not MAGA. They're all the one and the same. They're all the one and the same. Yeah, same difference. MAGA people live in another reality it's hard to deal with. Yeah.
Characteristic of her. Like, for her to say something like this is crazy to me, but it just really speaks to the frustration and hopelessness that regular people like her are feeling as she watches the country that she loves get burned to the fucking ground by fascist extremists. And I played this clip on the show before, but just look at the savage responses liberal women gave to right-wing pant shitter Caitlyn Bennett.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Oof. Like, how horrible of a human being do you have to be that people are like, yep, I'm glad that person isn't here anymore. You know, like, you don't have to, like, call for any violence, but, like, the guy's not here and people are straight up just being like, yep, that's how bad of a person you are, that people are just like, I don't care if he's here or not. My hardcore Texas deep red sisters waking up from the MAGA haze, just trying to be there for her and answer questions. She cannot stand misinformation and hate. Well, then maybe that's where you come in. Even Jimmy Kimmel called out fascism as rising up during this year. Yeah, and Rachel Maddow too, by the way. Rachel Maddow. Even the wine moms have had enough. Yeah, when you've pissed off the wine moms, you've gone too far.
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what?
Yeah, like, he's a horrible person. And that's why people are reacting that way. You can disagree and you can say that's bad, you can say that's callous. But they don't show that same, they don't have that same empathy. So why should you? If you said that about Donald Trump, the universe would implode. These people who are diehard MAGA do not question anything. Yeah, a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. It's kind of like with the glue that, it's the glue that holds the cult together. The deprogramming is hard and weird. Patience is hard when they are so far deep. Yeah, I know. I know. This is funny. Why ask the question if you don't like the answer?
Exact same thing.
Well, I'm
would
so
you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe.
Oh my god. I forgot about this clip.
I'd have to think about it.
Same energy, bro. You what? You don't like it? Damn. Maybe you shouldn't join the party or join the movement, join the fascist movement that literally rejoices in death. I mean, like, where's that energy? Where'd that energy go? You're surprised Pikachu facing because Meemaw over here is returning that same energy back to you people? Return to sender, mother... Are we really talking about that creep Charlie Kirk? It's part of the clip, so... No, we're not like having a whole conversation about it. I hate to say this, but I think, that made me laugh out loud. I hate to say this, but I think turning on our backs on some of these people pushes them farther into the cult. And I really despise saying that, but being faced with the reality that some folks need a lifeline. Oh, well, that's fair. Like, I'm not talking about the people who want to leave. I'm not saying to turn your backs on the people that want to leave. I'm saying that you don't have to deal with the people that are refusing to live like this, and who their entire identity is now around this hateful ideology. You don't. That's not. That is not our job. However, hey, if somebody wants to leave the cult, that's fine, but they have to make that decision. We can't make that for them. It's not something that we can do, and it's not our job to constantly try to push people who don't want to be pushed. Now, if there's somebody that's wanting to leave the cult, then if there's somebody that wants to leave the cult, then yeah, if you have that option of providing an off ramp, so be it. So be it. There are people that is our role. In some cases, maybe it's a personal friend, maybe it's a family member. I don't know. But just broadly speaking, that's I'm thinking more in broader terms. I think that we should move forward despite them, not with them, if that makes sense. I live in the only red county in Vermont. Actually, listening to my neighbors has showed me that listening is important right now. People are leaving in surprising numbers. Yeah, that's great. Hey, if there's an opening, like, I don't need them to be I don't need them to be leftism's greatest warriors. I need them to not be fascist. And if there's an avenue for that, then sure. But yeah, my priorities are trying to are trying to, like, basically move forward despite them, not really with them. It's more like it's not really like it's a strategy that it just broadly speaking is not where the effort needs to be as general. I'm saying in general, because there are some circumstances where you can do good. You can get people out of there. And you do. And you should. I should say. Magus pluribus, you have to be Carol or Monolysis. I'm not going to waste all my energy trying to reason with cult members with no systemic power. Yeah. Well, I mean, they vote for the people that are in power, and that's the problem, right? It's kind of like we have to be there is more of us than there is of them. There is more of us than there is of them, and we should remember that. We don't agree on much other than fascism. I mean, hey, if that's where the line is, then so be it. I'm just saying that, like, on a broader project for what I believe the left should be working on is essentially moving forward. You know what I mean? But Kirk wasn't getting reformed, he was raised into this. Yep. To paraphrase the Max from Film Network, a lot of these MAGA cultists are Trump's humanoids, and if we stay with them, we'll be destroyed. Personally, yeah, I don't think you have to extend any grace to any of these people. They don't deserve it. Kirk gave the entry point for something way worse. MAGA Barbie 2.0, Erica. I mean, I don't think she has the same, like, pulling power that, Charlie Kirk was. Remember, we're dealing with a very misogynistic movement. So, like, I don't know if she could ever really replace Charlie.
What, if she would die? I don't know.
Excuse me?
No, I don't know you, but I didn't know him either. But he was not a good person.
He would go to college campuses.
And
he would
why
go
do you
to
think he got shot? Because he wasn't a good person.
Jesus, that's savage. Imagine Kirk in 40 years and he's reformed into a Piers Morgan. Almost as much as you could imagine a person could to prove they've earned disrespect. Yeah, they've literally done the exact opposite. Show some inkling they're willing to really listen to information outside their media event horizon, and we can talk. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Because it's really it's really about, like, what where are we with the in the cult? Where are we in the cult? Are we willing to listen, or are we so deep that it's just like moving on, you know?
That is disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You know what? You want me to not call him Hitler? You want me to say he's
Your
not
friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
Bro, you can't tell me that they'd be this ruthless if the country didn't get taken over by fascists. And Kyle Kulinski said it best when he talked about this clip. He said that these are your grandmothers. And he's right. Like, these are the nice ladies who always have granola bars in their purses that they're willing to share. They're the kind of people who are always there for you to watch your kids or offer you a shoulder to cry on. And the fact that they're talking like this, the fact that they're talking like lefty shit posters on Twitter, speaks to the anger that Trump's regime is.
Yeah, because otherwise you're talking to a black hole. I have gummies. Make sure you grab the right kind. Oh,
creating,
no.
And I can assure conservatives that the backlash to what's happening now will indeed be immense. But despite what that lady said, I don't actually think that she wants violence. In the extended clip, she admitted that maybe she was saying what she was saying because she was mad and didn't really mean it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's still not going to be consequences for what's happening, because one thing's for sure, the days of when they go low, we go high are over. And I don't even think that Democrats comprehend just how angry their base is. And in a clip from a recent episode of the Dangerous Ones podcast, they made their expectations for Democrats running in 2028 very, very clear.
Whoever runs for the Democratic nomination, I want them to punish the other side, not just come into office and be like, well, you know, no. And I remember Lincoln after the Civil War.
I do not want violence, but show me in history where actually change happened without violence. I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't mean it can't happen, but yeah, just understand that is very much so something that is a part of history. Magoki, welcome. Bennett sounds like her heart's not in it anymore. I was given a 3D printer for Christmas and there's free gummies in the box. Apparently they throw in 100 grams of Haribo bears for everyone. What? That is awesome.
Or everybody wanted Lincoln to punish the South for what had happened. He didn't live long enough to do that, but he also didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that now. Whoever comes into office should not only fix every goddamn thing that has just happened, but I think there should be some punishment involved.
I think that there has to be.
Yeah, and it's not just like punishment for punishment's sake, right? Like that's not the goal, or that shouldn't be the goal here. I think that we have to make sure that this can never happen again, and that consequences are dealt out in the efforts to create something better, and the efforts to create something better, to create an actual democratic system going forward. Of course, this is all like in a real world, in a hypothetical, I should say, scenario in my head. I would want consequences for all of this, simply because we need this to happen, because we need to build something better. And it's not going to be enough to just leave things as it is. It's not going to be enough to just leave things as it is. It simply won't, because all that teaches them is that they just have to be more, is just that they have to be worse next time around, right? And not let go of power, assuming that they do this time around. Bring back shame and consequences for Nazis and sympathizers. I agree. All the institutions were left with no credibility since Obama did the same with Bush. Yep. Yeah, the DNC is just a fundraiser bank with bad PR. The Democrats gave Netanyahu a standing ovation. Yep. It can't just be norms and decency. That ship has sailed. Yep. A progressive version of Trump's current campaign of vengeance? Sort of, but like, I don't think that, I don't think it should be billed that way though, right? Like, it shouldn't be billed like just for vengeance sake, right? That doesn't work. It has to come with a plan to build something better, to build something on top. Otherwise, it does no good, right? It's not just about justice, which it is, but it's about also making the groundwork for something better. It has to be something. I believe this was Seven's comment. It has to be something better. It has to be something transformative. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Like, we can't just do it for vengeance sake. What shame and consequences? They were hired by NASA and UN presidents. They get standing ovations in Canadian Parliament. Well, that's true. I know it won't be built like that. That's not my question. Well, what is your question then? Dems, or quote left, faces a genuine worry that their accountability will be treated as as punishment, so it will be returned to them as real punishment instead of accountability. Yeah, I think that's basically what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, it's not like we don't want to leave this. We don't want to take away from the fact. We don't want like people to come away with the fact that this is just like, oh, this is just political, right? Like, the left is coming back. The pendulum is swinging back around. It can't be like that, and we got to make sure that that's what people don't take away from that, if that makes sense. No sense in offering the olive branch if they're going to burn it to ash. I agree. I agree. It's not about that at all. It's not about that at all.
Because one of the things that's breaking in this country is rule of law.
Right.
Getting back to what America is meant to be, a land that's governed through justice
Mhm.
requires
Supposedly.
that people be held accountable.
Right? Supposedly. It turns out that that's not the case, and it hasn't been. Not really.
Accountable
Yeah.
Yes.
for shit that they did during this
Yes.
time period.
And it's going to be a heavy hand that comes down.
Yeah. So
It better be.
because I'm not voting for a Democratic nominee who isn't saying, when I get in office, not only am I going to fix this, but there's going to be consequences.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know.
And I need them to embrace where we are and this little, well, we're going to form a committee and look into it. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, I think the days of that are over.
And I'm curious what you guys think at home, too. You remember in the 40s with the Nazis, and then
Yep.
after the war was over,
Yep.
they went and found them all and
Yeah.
put them on trial. And all those Nazis tried to claim, hey, I was
was
just following
following
orders.
They also they also put them in government works, but let's just kind of table that for a second. Yeah, we should have Nuremberg 2.0. I mean, and all of that for human rights abuses. Rule of law crushes people, don't argue for it, and most of those Nazis kept their careers. Yeah, what I mean by rule of law is just applying the law as it's supposed to work, right? Like, we have systems, we're supposed to have systems in place for a reason, right? If not, then like none of this matters, right? Like, if there's no hey, you can't defraud people for billions of dollars, right? As an example, you can't defraud students if you're Trump University, then like, yeah, it kind of is kind of meaningless. Besides their mascots and symptoms, nothing will ever happen to Jamie Dimons or Elon Musk's. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem, right? We can't allow ourselves to let a Newsom be on the ballot. Yeah, well, we have to. That's up to us. We have to try.
I say,
Yeah.
I'm
I agree
here
with
to
you,
tell
though.
you.
They should maybe get the Brad Pitt and Glorious Bastards movie watch. Oof, I'm down for that. I love that movie. Shallow Winery, a company in the U.S. with an Israeli headquarters, stole Palestinian farmland and used their grapes to make kosher wine to sell in the U.S. They're rated 5 out of 5. Yikes. It's such a good movie. I've seen it a couple times only, though. And the second time that I watched Inglourious Bastards, I was like half in and out. So I didn't really get to finish the whole, like, or maybe I did finish the movie. I don't even remember, honestly. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. And it is fantastic.
Right now, you fucking ICE agents that are doing this shit, this is going to come back to you. The internet will find you.
Yep.
And you will be exposed. You know, I mean, don't think this is going away. You treating people like that when you know it's illegal, going, oh, just following orders.
Yeah.
No.
That's not going to work.
We're gonna find out who you are.
Yeah,
you know?
I hope you fuckers are getting disowned by your families right and left.
Yeah.
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 Hello. Are we back? Okay, we're back. Tarantino married a Mossad honeypot? Oof. Okay, we're back. I'm just saying in case anyone wants to leave their reviews and ratings. Yeah, please. That's a bingo.
Yeah, there has to be accountability. Otherwise, history will repeat itself. Democrat after Democrat after Democrat has failed to hold...
YouTube has been buffering. No, that one's on me. OBS just dropped the stream over here, but we're good. Yeah, hit the refresh.
Republicans accountable, and we're now having to live with the consequences of their inaction. Ford pardoned Nixon. Obama didn't prosecute the Bush war criminals because he wanted to look forward and not back. Merrick Garland dragged his fucking feet on Trump's prosecution, and the rest is history. History that we're very much living through right now.
Yeah, and that's 100% true, right? Like, the fact that Nixon wasn't prosecuted for the crimes that he did, and the fact that, by the way, that kind of was one of the domino that fell that led to where we are right now, because after the Nixon incident and he stepped down because if he didn't, then he was going to guaranteed be impeached and removed. The Justice Department decided that, hey, you know what? maybe maybe our systems actually do work, and maybe we shouldn't prosecute presidents because Congress obviously is doing their job. And we have congressional guardrails that say, you know, we can impeach you, we can remove you. Never thinking that what if Congress didn't do their job? What if there was a Congress that didn't want to do their oversight job? Like, do we just not apply the rule of law or do we just not apply the laws that are on the books because we expect Congress to do that? And yeah, funny enough, as it turns out, that is a very plausible scenario. In fact, here we are. Nixon wouldn't need to be pardoned by today's court standards. They should move to strike it from his record. I mean, why not? Nothing matters, right? Why not? We have a fraudster. We have a convicted fraudster pardoning convicted fraudsters in the Oval Office. Amazing. We're not getting wet this rainstorm, so let's jettison this obviously pointless umbrella levels of stupidity. Right, and then surprise Pikachu facing when it indeed rains. Yeah, like, what? There could be a scenario where Congress doesn't do their job? Who would have thunk?
Mind you, the days of just letting things go are over. And I don't think that the base is going to accept more mealy-mouthed bullshit from Democrats, especially now, because if Republicans...
And they shouldn't. We shouldn't. To the extent that, like, we're in this mess. I think if they moved to strike Nixon's pardon, it would shine a light on the current party. Prosecute every Congress member who decided to vote for America to invade Iraq. I mean, yeah, and the presidents too, all of them, right? From Bush to Obama to Trump. Like, I can't think of a president alive that isn't a war criminal that could be prosecuted under the international law and domestic, for that matter.
Can get away with all of this. They can literally get away with anything. You can't have a country where elites can violate laws and the Constitution with impunity. And it's not just about accountability and justice, it's also about revenge, quite frankly. Conservatives who voted for this, they need to feel the same anger and frustration and desperation that we're all feeling after putting us through.
Yeah, but like, again, I just, if I may, I just don't think that this should all be about revenge. It's not just about revenge. It's about doing the right thing. It's about doing the right thing. And again, it doesn't mean that these people don't deserve it. These are horrible people. These are horrible people. I'm just saying, I don't want people to think that this is just about revenge. I've heard quite a few times that the backbone of the US economy is arms sales. Yeah. Yeah. Quite frankly, that's called tough love. The thing conservatives love to pretend they understand and prove they don't. Rule of law doesn't exist as long as SCOTUS is filled with political bootlickers. I mean, yeah, right? I mean, pretty much. We see how that plays out, right? Raise your hand if you have personally victimized by the US government and now dealing with it by growing your own food and tattoos. Actually, yeah, we grow some of our own stuff. And we, although like, you know, our situation, like it's not that we've been like, screwed so hard that like we're in dire straits, but like, yeah, the government screwed us. The government screwed us, in a big way financially. And, that's coming. That bomb is going to drop any day now. That bomb is going to drop any day now. It's a matter of when, not if. Thanks, Trump.
all of this. And everything that they're doing to all of us now should come back to them tenfold. And I think that this socialist TikToker put it best in this amazing rant that he made after Mamdani won.
Hey, are you dirty MAGA fuck starting to...
Oh my god, this guy. I've seen this guy before. And, bro. Oh my god. I started my own apothecary this past summer, learning how to make antibiotics and herbal medicine. Nice! It's less of a bomb and more of a room that's filling with nerve gas. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. It's a violent form of socialism. They print billions or now trillions on arms that for the military. Then that money is GDP in the US economy. They're okay with printing that money. At this point, I'm just warming myself by the fires of hell and trying to survive. Yeah. Actually, I've turned on the fires of hell in my room because it is cold. That's what I say when I see my uncle. Hey, you dirty pack. Oh my goodness. That's rough. Rough. Once again, I'm sorry, Heat.
Realize that you've been the screaming minority, not the silent majority? Are you starting to realize that the socialist victory in New York City is just the beginning and we're coming for the fucking Oval Office? This goes out to the Democrat Party too. You're either gonna bend the knee and accept socialism or you're gonna get fucking trampled on in every single election. This is the people's fucking movement. We make the goddamn rules. You fucking work for us. And to all of you—
I hope so, man. Look, in the real world, in a perfect world, I wish it was like that. I wish it was like that. I wish we lived in a world where all of that, where all of that kind of was just understood, and people would just be like, oh well, duh, of course, right? Of course, I want to live in a world where people are like, yeah, let's democratize this. let's democratize this mother. Let's democratize this mother effer, right? But we don't. I guess it's our job to try to make it that way. Yeah, I agree. I agree. When we skip the first step, even of anything even remotely resembling everyone having an actual, equal, and informed real say over this policy, it speaks for all of us ostensibly. Yeah. The government turned me into an alcoholic and tattoo addict. That is how I'm coping. I'm scared shitless. I got our mandatory recert this packed week before Christmas. We are so screwed. Sheesh. I'm sorry, Mayhem Hippie. Not like that is rough. That is rough. I love that emote. Millennials should be taking over. Boomers are on the downslope. We should be getting more progressive, I guess. Yeah. Sort of. I think it's bending that way. They want to know if my 14-year-old. They want to know my 14-year-old's income. Yeah. Okay. Like, how? In what world does that even make sense? He's not even legal to work in Vermont.
Red hicks that support Donald Trump and his fascist regime. I hope you know you're gonna have to pretend that you never supported it in the first place. Because when we get the Oval, we are reversing every single thing.
And there's gonna be people like that, by the way. Just to be clear, there's going to be people like that. There's gonna be people that are gonna disassociate and say, like, I never believed anything that he was gonna. I never believed anything that he said. Or no, I didn't support that particular policy. In the world of 1825, Trump's uncle went to MIT and Trump's an idiot. Smarts aren't inherently genetic. Yeah, 100%, I agree. I'm sure he's become president 2 times, dodged criminal prosecution, covered up kids in the lane, but all his money are scams. Yep. Yeah, like Trump is good in the sense that he's a good scammer. That's what he's good at. He's a good con man. He pulled the biggest con possible. I'm not voting for anyone older than me. Yeah, join the Discord. Many people in Germany did after World War II. Yeah. Yeah, and you best believe there's going to be people like that here. I'm thinking of setting up a 24-hour Jello mold stream. How many followers will it get? That sounds cool. As long as you put some nice chill background music behind it. Yeah. And maybe like jam to some and maybe jam to some video games, then like yeah, you're cooking with gas right there. If there's mold in your Jello, throw it out.
That Donald Trump did. We are rounding up every single ICE agent and putting them on a tribunal. 85% or more of you dirty fucking mass Gestapo deputized.
And just to be clear, I think this should happen. I think that all of these ICE agents that have been participating in human rights abuses and have been participating and accomplices and actively doing all these disappearances should be put on tribunal. 100,000%. All of these ICE agents, all of them, top to bottom, from leadership all the way to the jackbooted thugs. That no one should be spared from that. I mean, in a nice and just world, it would be up to and including the president. Like seriously, I don't think we can move on as a society if we can't do that, right? If this just like if this just gets loud, then like I think we would be cooked at that point. Like just call it GG's, everybody. ICE agents should be actually brought to military courts. It doesn't matter to me. Justice is what I want. Justice for the human rights abuses. Justice for all the families that they've destroyed, all the lives that they've destroyed, the people they've killed. Yeah. I'm not 100% what the appropriate punishment is, and I reckon it's at least somewhat appropriate to adjust case by case to the circumstances, but I am 100% some kind of punishment is well earned. Oh yeah, no, I agree. I'll get a decent subwoofer and drop the beat so it wiggles. Yeah, nice. Oh, can you imagine? That would actually be a great stream idea. With Jello, right? Jello and Jams. Okay, call the channel Jello and Jams. That would be awesome. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, 100%. There has to be some kind of consequences. There has to be trials, and all of this needs to be public too. So all of it needs to be public, so people understand what happened. So people understand why this is happening, okay? So we don't fall into the trap of like, oh, well, this is just like, this is just political, right? Like this is just political retribution. No, these trials in the hypothetical scenario I'm imagining, it will be public, and there will be an explanation as to the why this is happening. That is the only way. That is the only way. Globus the Elder, welcome. Hey, what up? What up? Hey, folks, if you're here and you want to support a great content creator, please check out Globus_the Elder. Globus_the Elder. I don't always get this right. Hold on. Oh, look at me getting it in the first shot. Globus is awesome. I'm convinced that is a fact. Ladybug, welcome. The news is almost always shitty, but you guys are awesome. Yeah. The judge dismissed a case in Chicago against the woman CBP said rammed their car, so they shot her 5 times. It turns out the CBP agent hit her car and bragged in text about his marksmanship. Yeah. And remember how we were told that originally it was the woman that was trying to box them in? No, wait. First, the story was that she had a gun. But then that didn't work out because that never happened. So then it was, they were trying to box us in. Okay, so we felt threatened. Was the backup plan here. But as it turns out, these fascist jackbooted thugs are not very bright, and put it on paper. I imagine Trump will pardon entire agencies if Dems will win, but I don't think the next election will be anything close to fair and free. It's bigger than MAGA now, and it's the Heritage Foundation shaping it all. I think that there's some when I think about like the next election being fair and free, I think that like the Republicans certainly have done their fair share of trying to rig the maps. For example, they're trying to rig the election maps. They're trying to put on these voting restrictions and stuff like that. But I don't think that's gonna save them. I don't think that's gonna save them. Judgment Free Zone, welcome. Plus all those Republicans that run the risk of legal charges for their crimes. Yeah. They even bought Dominion as a backup. I don't know like how big they're gonna be able to do that. But they're certainly gonna try. The problem for the ruling class is you can't rig an election your way out of all the contradictory incentives of capitalism. Yeah.
White supremacist, Proud Boy Nazi fucks is gonna spend the rest of your days in a goddamn prison labor camp. We're gonna milk you for fucking work, bitch. And you're gonna bite the bullet, you're gonna smell the fucking roses, and all of you red hat wearing, plankton bucket hat wearing motherfuckers are gonna have to cope, mold, and seethe. Because woke Sharia is here, bitch. We don't give a fuck about your opinions. You have proven to the entire
woke Sharia. Oh my god. Woke Sharia.
Public that your opinions, your takes, your wants are bad for society, and they will be ignored. Not only will they be ignored, we will be taking everything you want and getting the fucking inverse. You dumb motherfuckers. You think this is a Christian nation? This is a secular nation, bitch. You bitch and moan about, Zoran Mamdani's gonna bring Sharia law to New York City. You want Christian Sharia, you're white boy jihadists demanding fucking Christian theocratic fascism. You are everything that you accuse the fucking left of being. You're domestic terrorists!
Incredible. And after decades of fear-mongering about socialism, Republicans inadvertently willed it into existence because after giving us the purest, most ruthless form of late-stage capitalism and telling us that this is the best economic system in the history of mankind...
Yeah, it's not. Language. By the time the military infrastructure will be in place, as well as any president, the court gives Trump now with what he's doing militarily, domestic, and abroad. Give him a platform on a stage. OBS crash, you did? Hello. Welcome. Howdy. Mike dresses like he's in a red state. Where is he from? I don't know where, Mike Figueroa is from, honestly. I think he's actually from... Is he from Portland? Oh man, I'm really not familiar, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where he's from. The Humanist Report. Anyone can wear a flannel. That's true. I have flannel PJs. Not afraid. Like Malcolm X said, it's still the ballot or the bullet. You cannot judge a plaid here in Vermont. There are options. For sure, it's not. Not sure if it's Portland or not. Okay, so definitely Oregon. Am I in the right ballpark here? I wonder if it was Washington State, but I thought he'd moved. Okay, so we're close. Okay, we're pretty warm. We're pretty warm. I'm just not familiar where he's from. I'm gonna be honest. Nice, good job, Mayhem Hippie. He's mentioned it on Leftist Mafia before. I need to watch more Leftist Mafia. Flannel is definitely the uniform here in Minnesota. It's probably cold in Oregon, so the flannel makes sense.
Well, they've created millions and millions of people who are being radicalized just out of sheer desperation. They're seeing the game that's being played. They're watching elites deliberately.
And you can't complain that people are mad. Like you can't complain that people are angry. And giving you the same energy that you've been giving for almost 10 years now. It just doesn't work that way. And the beard makes me want to say Northwest, but who knows? It's close. I think somewhere in that area. The West Coast I found has the best used bookstores. Nice. Nice. I think Mrs. Truth orders from like bookstores online from whereabouts there, from roundabouts there. I'm never afraid to waltz into liberals' lives and make them question the lies. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather honestly, I'd rather debate liberals, to be honest. There are some liberals that you can convince, and I'd rather be debating them. It's 35 degrees out here. Yeesh. It's close. I think it's close. It is about... Yeah, it's about 35 here. Pretty close. We had an ice storm today. Yeesh. I heard that there's areas that are getting really hit hard. Yeah, stay warm. Yeesh.
Pit working class people against each other in order to get us to fight each other while they rob us all blind. And if you focus on the wrong 1% and think that immigrants and trans people are the cause of all of your problems, you're not going to realize how badly you're getting fucked by the ruling class. But thankfully, so many people are waking up to the reality that the American dream was a lie that elites sold to us to trick us into supporting a system that exclusively benefited them. But I mean, the jig is up. And nobody's buying it anymore. Hence why you see the rise in popularity for socialism, even among liberal wine mom types like Jennifer Welch, again, who was once a Hillary Clinton supporter who became a socialist, who identifies as a democratic socialist. But you have to understand that she's not alone. Like, she's not this isolated instance. This radicalization is not happening in a vacuum. People in droves are starting to wake up. This notion that we should tolerate the existence of billionaires because we could become billionaires one day ourselves is...
Yeah, that's not happening. Not anymore. Or at least not that argument doesn't hold as strong, right? We got 24 high winds and whiteouts. Sheesh. Yikes. Wear flannel. My holiday recess is over this week, so I'll be up for Leftist Mafia more since I'm usually in a car headed to whatever job number 2 state I'm in when it airs. Weesh. Yeah, they even more right to the point. They probably won't even self-ID as liberals. Probably the better return on investment for finite persuasive argumentation time. Our rural, not well-maintained power grid upheld so Texas needs to get it together and stop whining. Maybe Texas should pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
Laughable to everybody with a brain.
No, but seriously, that's horrible. The fact that like Texas is so screwed with regards to the power is like they only have themselves to blame. It's unnecessary suffering. Unnecessary suffering.
More and more people are starting to attack this delusion head on, which is another sign that Americans are really starting to wake up.
Serious fucking question. Why do so many people in this country have such a fucking hard-on for billionaires? Oh, the ACA was unsuccessful.
Because capitalism has conditioned us to. We're getting there, okay? We're getting there. I know. It's a step-by-step process, but we're getting there. Yeah. That's a fantastic question. It's because capitalism, in order to reinforce itself, has to teach us, the working class, that actually one day maybe you can be that billionaire. Maybe you will be wearing the boot one day instead of being crushed under it.
Yeah, because billionaires are fucking greedy. Grocery prices, everything is sky high. Yeah, because fucking billionaires are greedy.
Yep.
Zohran Mamdani, he's gonna do terrible things to New York because all the billionaires will leave. Fuck those billionaires. Fuck them with a 10-foot pole. In fact, fuck them with a redwood tree because at least one billionaire is walking around this country happier than a pig and shit. So happy, in fact, that she's at least a little bit charitable. Is it because you have some fucking crazy idea that the American dream is gonna come knocking on your door? Because it's not. Because your Lord and Savior fucking Ronald Reagan killed the American dream with trickle-down economics. In fact, I made a list of all the things that are more likely to happen to you than becoming a billionaire in the United States of America.
Bro, literally everything. Like, it literally, like, there's no even point of making a list. The odds are of you becoming a billionaire in the United States of America, is like, statistically, okay? Like a rounding error, okay? The odds of you becoming a billionaire, or heck, even a multi-millionaire, the odds of that are basically statistically irrelevant. They might as well be a rounding error. Nadia, welcome. I have YouTube live chat, but Twitch playback at speed is limited to double speed. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, double speed. I'm trying to catch up at 4. Oh my goodness. And even Reagan was more left of today's conservative party. And some of us had a dream. What if, hear me out now, no boots and no crushing needed. We just put our adult pants on and divide up and do the work we need as fairly as among us as we are able to. I mean, like, that's how we're really supposed to be. That's how, that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's how, that's literally how we were set up to function.
In 2025, being struck by lightning, you have 40 times more likelihood of being struck by fucking lightning than you do becoming a billionaire. Being killed by a shark, 7 times more likely. Winning an Oscar. Winning an Olympic medal, 50.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like, I think that also, to put it in perspective, I think she also should have put the chances of you actually being struck by lightning. Yeah, that would help to put that into perspective. I just watched a really good documentary by this British dude about Christian nationalism last night. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. Please put it in the Discord. Yeah. Yeah. Christian nationalism is a scary, scary, scary thing. And it's been around for an uncomfortable amount of time. Decades, just kind of brewing in the background. Yeah, as God intended, it's in the Bible. Police are hired to protect property, not you. True.
Times more likely to win an Olympic medal than you have at becoming a billionaire.
Yep.
Becoming a pro athlete, dying in a plane crash, finding a pearl in the oysters that you're eating. You know, that way you can fucking clutch them. Being born with albinism. All these things more likely than becoming a fucking billionaire in 2025. Some of you just love being fucking teabagged by the billionaires every goddamn minute of every fucking day in every aspect of your life. Like, what the fuck?
Bars. And I am so glad that people are coming to the realization that everything wrong with our system is the direct result of the ruling class. They have complete...
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hey, BCat, welcome. He talks about Reagan and whatnot. It's a good documentary. Christian nationalism is much more complex than I realized, too. Yeah. My dad got struck by lightning twice. What? Sheesh. Yikes. I hope you're having a lovely holiday. Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Yep. We need to teach class solidarity. I agree. I agree. This is all literally, quite literally, just what our ruling class has decided will be normal, and to not be normal, it would seem they're the first obstacle. Yep. It all points to the same
captured
place.
our government by buying politicians and elections and then rigging the rules to make themselves even richer. And as we're all getting fucked by them, they tell us that this is the best economic system ever. Sounds legit. And meanwhile, they're hysterical about the rising popularity of...
And more people are coming to that conclusion, right? Like, even if they're not like, you know, even if they're not like socialism's greatest warrior, okay? I think more and more people are questioning, right, the dogma of capitalism. And I think that's important. I think that's massive. And we, the left, TM, need to be there to facilitate that conversation. Yeah, why are things so expensive? Why can't I afford rent? Like, why is everything so messed up? Why does every waking moment feel like I'm being the oxygen is being choked? Like, why does every waking moment is me worrying about whether or not I get to keep my roof over my head, whether or not next month I'll have a job or not, whether or not that means I'll be able to eat? Like, these are good questions. These are good questions.
Socialism, while not realizing that they're the ones making socialism popular. If people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg save just a few crumbs for us, maybe people might be inclined to support the system a little bit longer. But since the...
Yeah, and that's kind of like the thing, right? It's the Ouroboros that is capitalism, right? Because capitalism technically there could be a scenario where everybody gets paid actual living wages and actually be able to afford everything with one job. There could be a scenario where that happens. There's still, you know, rich people and whatnot, but the problem is there won't be that many Elon Musks. And it's the greed. It's the greed. It's the dragon sickness. I hope everyone had a peaceful holiday season. Yes, and we got one more to go. One more week. As we're constantly told, there's never been more total wealth, never been more total productivity, never been more sophisticated scientific understanding of reality, etc. Makes increasingly no sense. Yep. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. Yep. Where have I heard that before?
These people were so greedy and took everything from the rest of us, they have nobody to blame but themselves for the rise in anti-capitalist sentiment.
Yep.
You can only keep people distracted from the fact that they're hungry for so long until they bust out the pitchforks.
Yep.
And they're starting to get to that point.
Yeah, and we've mentioned this several times. Like, at some point, the pitchforks are going to come out, and that's just a euphemism. So, I mean, this is... balls in your court, folks. Balls in your court, you know.
Because decades and decades of neoliberalism has facilitated the rise of fascism that culminated in this moment that we're in right now, where people are hungry, angry, and they fucking want revenge. And some fascists are already sensing that this is indeed the case, like Steve Bannon, who recently admitted this.
A euphemism, mostly. It's like standing in front of and standing in front of Van Gogh and a person trying to convince me I'm looking at a Lamborghini. Oh, New Year's. I must have blocked that out as a coping mechanism. We've got one more, okay? New Year's. A euphemism, mostly, except where maybe in certain rural areas where it might actually literally include pitchforks. True.
If we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
God bless. From your ears to, from your lips to God's ears, Steve Bannon. From your lips to God's ears. I agree. I agree.
They're not going to stop. They're getting more and more and more radical.
And I don't think he's wrong. With all the laws that Trump and Elon Musk and Stephen Miller and Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem have broken, I don't know if the country can survive or if anything will ever matter again if they aren't prosecuted for their crimes against humanity. But even though the Democratic Party base may want that, I don't know if Democratic politicians have the spines to actually prosecute these criminals. But, you know, if they don't, there's going to be hell to pay for them too, because the backlash is coming.
And it's not like, that's not, again, it's not, there isn't a way forward out of this without that. It just, there isn't. There is no way forward for us as a society without that. It's got to happen. And not just because like this is some kind of like revenge tour. It's because how else can we move forward from all of these abuses and authoritarianism and complete disregard for humanity? Like we can't do society like that. It doesn't work. If we just allow this to happen and just say we just gotta move on, it's just gonna it's just gonna happen again. It's just gonna happen again, and the only lesson the only lesson that will be learned is we've gotta get power and do what we have to do fast and worst and take and worst. We all know how that turns out. We've seen it in history. It's not good. It's not good. Mayhem hippie. The right's always been willing to go to war to keep any genuine left from power because they've always known that if their misdeeds ever got exposed, they'd suffer fully criminal retributive justice. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I'm just me, no problem. Glad you're here.
And as this TikToker put it, the wokest era ever is on the horizon as a direct result of the bullshit that's going on right now.
I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump is propelling the United States of America to have its wokest era yet.
God bless. God bless. Bartending and managing bars, clubs, etc. on New York East for decades have shaped my dislike for it. I completely see that. Because I would be in that same boat. Yeah. Love those emotes.
I personally grew up in a red state, live in a red state, and have many friends and family members who have voted red in the past, specifically for Donald Trump. These are the people who are extremely, extremely mad at Donald Trump and the entire Republican Party right now. In the past,
and again, look, hey, if you want to stop being a horrible person, that's great. And I'm all here for it. But like, know that you did this. No, like, just to be clear, like, know that you, MAGA, did this. You were warned. Okay? This is not 2016. Okay? This is not 2016. You were warned. He told you who he was. He showed you who he was. We told you who he was. We showed you who he was. Everybody told you what was going to happen. Everybody. So yeah, I mean, again, if you want to stop being a horrible person at any given point, God bless, and that's a good thing. But just know that this is on you. All of this. All of this is on you.
9 months, I have not
be bad at both parties.
Seen more people than I have right now who have voted red be upset.
Yeah, why are they mad? They voted for this. They voted for the right wings to do right wing shit, and now they're mad. Yeah, they're mad because it's affecting them. They're mad because it's affecting them. That's why they're mad. Otherwise, they wouldn't be mad. Oh my goodness. Otherwise, they wouldn't be mad.
And organize. I've seen them call their elected officials. I've seen them organize voters. I've seen them go out and protest. These people have decided to start joining our forces to fight back against the Republican Party and specifically Donald Trump. Which they know if that we are connected and working together.
Yeah, I see. I saw that. I'm glad. I think that they should do that in every state, especially any red state. I think that they should. I think that they should run candidates like Florida. Florida isn't like a ruby red state for no reason. The Democratic Party there is kind of like useless. They're kind of useless. So yeah, this strategy. If it's successful in Texas, I think that the Democratic Party should probably deploy this strategy everywhere. Because, like, how are you supposed to win elections if you don't run people? Okay, just because you think that the election is a lost cause, it's kind of a problem in and of itself.
We are unstoppable and we are powerful. We will make sure that the United States is on a better trajectory than it is right now.
And again, I'm seeing the same thing myself, not so much with Trump voters per se, but with more normie liberal types who are appalled at all of the crimes that they're witnessing this regime commit. And we all got a small taste of the anger earlier this year at town halls for both Republicans and Democrats, as well as the special elections. But after multiple years of fascism, 2026, 2027, 2028, by then, it's going to reach the point where liberal wine moms might actually call on workers to seize the means of production and jail billionaires. So buckle up, MAGA, because all of this will come back to bite you in the ass, because what goes around comes around.
Luigi not happy.
Luigi not happy.
Oh, Luigi. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Luigi. Yeah. Luigi. See you. Bye-bye.
My state is running Democrats turned Republican in primaries. Nice. Nice. That's what you gotta do, what you gotta do. Kind of funny, too, when you think about how willing they're to run literally any dog shit with a D next to its name, Yep. Texas is a black hole of Democratic fundraising where funds could be used to flip districts elsewhere only for Texas to barely not make it blue. Do I still raid? Yeah. I still raid out. Tropical Ding Dong, welcome. But this cycle feels very much like 2016, where all bets are off. Now, if I may, I don't know. I don't know if it's like 2016. I think it's more like 2020. Now, best ending song. I don't want my money going to Obamacare. Cancel it. Wait, why is he messing with my ACA? Elections are rigged. Shams, if there's ever a real risk of left getting power, I guarantee the elections will be cancelled. Well, it's our job to stand up. There's not even the center's hope of Bernie. We're so damn screwed. I mean, yeah, but not yet. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. Oh, the video? Yeah, I know. Andrew Tate? Yeah, it's not the first time, like, he's said that, that they've made this argument. But hey, you know. They're gonna try to push Newsom, don't even play. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna try. I'm sure they're gonna try. Newsom. It's also, rumored that Kamala Harris might want to throw her hat in the ring. So yeah, it's not great. But it's our job to, you know, to fight the fight until there is none left. On that note, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. I appreciate it. You got 18 months. Thank you. That's what that was about. I was confused. I was confused there. Florida Dems ran Republican turned Dem. Charlie Crist for Covenant last time. Same strategy with David Jolly. All right, folks. We've got a little bit of time, so we're just gonna speed run. We've got to just kind of zoom through this. A coconut tree. The fascists rely on your apathy. Do not give in to despair. Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's 100% where I was getting at. It probably put better than it probably sounded. What I was trying to say is that, okay? What I was trying to say is exactly that. Fascism only wins when we, the people, let it win. It's up to us, and remember, there's more of us than there are of them. There's more of us than there are of them. It'd be nice to see Congress become less of a nursing home. The only hope the world ever had died on December 26, 91. No, I think we're whoever's left alive now, whoever is here, whoever has a pulse, you can be hope. Each one of us are hope. Each one of us existing and trying to make the world a better place however you can. Whether it's in your immediate household, whether it's in your community. Some folks, like Mayhem Hippie, are organizing. Whether it be drawing, making art, making music. Whether it be posting online. Whatever. Whatever it is. Each one of you are hope. And, it's not gone until we're all gone. Yes, and the hope is getting involved into local politics and voting at the starting level. Sure, yeah. Yeah. The biggest issue Bernie had in 2016 was not starting the campaign early enough. Yeah, among other things. Among other things. I agree, no small part of capitalism requires our disempowerment, and it's why we just feel empowered in it. It's because we are, but it's also easy for that to blind us all to the alternative ways it could be otherwise in which we're fighting, of course. Bloom where you're planted. Yeah, I agree. I agree. This doesn't work if all of us give up. That is not a acceptable response. That is the neoliberal definition of hope. No, I think all of us are hope. We're all here, and we're all anti-fascist, and we're all and as long as there's anti-fascists alive, we keep going. I'm not getting Holocausted because people don't think I should run to survive. No one's saying that. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? That, I'm not saying that you have to stay here or anything like that. I'm saying that you, by living, are hope. You, by making it out alive, and you being alive is hope. As bleaker as things may be, in fact, I truly believe that's the only rational position, because if you think through any other ones, they're ultimately really just giving up with extra steps. Yeah, and that's not, and that's not acceptable, right? We're all still here. So we go. On we go. Giving up is just that. It's a dead end. What more speed said if that's your position? Yeah. So there's no other way. If you're still here, if you're alive, and if you have a pulse, then there is hope. Hope is never dead. Hope exists where you put the effort. Yeah. And hope is with all of us. Hope is all of us, essentially. Hope is all of us. Because if not, then what's the point? In his last decades fighting, and so yeah, and you're still here. Non-realizable hope is the same neoliberal con job as access to healthcare. Yeah, but that's not, like, it's different apples to oranges. You give people the power to take your hope, and trust me, I know it's hard in these times. A revolution never came easy to those who want and need it. I agree. I agree. I think that, again, like, it's not, I think that you have to have, like, at as bad as things seem, it's kind of like a non-starter, right? Because there is no giving up. That's not really an option. It's not really an option, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still here, and I will still be doing what I'm doing. The Matrix is a metaphor for late-stage capitalism. Yep. Neoliberal hope is just there is no hope. Capitalism is what you're stuck with is best. It could be so make the best of it, even if that's less than actually acceptable. Yeah. And if you're ever feeling hopeless, please feel free to message me. Never let anyone dull your shine. I agree. I agree, and thank you, Mayhem Hippie. Anyways, folks, we got a speed run through this. It's almost 7 o'clock. Trump says he took out a break facility as part of U.S. strike, as part of strikes on alleged drug boats near Venezuela. Again, I hate this framing, and every time it happens, we're gonna reframe it. They're not alleged drug boats. They're just boats. They're just boats. They're not drug boats as far as we know. We don't know. They're just random boats. I seem to have a different ontology of the word than everyone around me. Yeah, I think maybe it's just really about not giving up, I think. Are we going to war? My son literally turns 18 in 3 days. It's unclear. Things are happening so quickly. It's unclear. Yeesh, that's late, Nadia. President Trump said in an interview with WABC Radio in New York that the U.S. had knocked out a facility tied to Venezuela, a move that could be a major escalation in military strikes to counter alleged drug trafficking by the Southern American country. Again, this is nonsense, okay? This is the same war on terror nonsense, okay? Stop giving the premise that there's actually any justification for this nonsense. This is what's infuriating and constantly needs to be corrected with the media's framing. But then again, we can't expect much given their behavior during the OG war on terror. The apparent attacks follows months of U.S. military pressure, being war crimes. Okay, the military pressure that we're talking about is war crimes. It's killing people. The military pressure is literally just killing people off the Caribbean. Apparently he's also potentially covering up corporate Epstein crimes too. That wouldn't surprise me either. He's a big fan of fraudsters, among other stuff. Talk Hope, try planning you're smuggling a kid via possible war while your son and partner have asylum in Canada and your son turning 18 voids his asylum. Yeesh. I'm at that age where it's kind of like I'd be last pick. Okay, I'm not old, so to speak. I guess that's mindset, but I'm not 18 either. Gotta jump. Hey, thank you, Sirius. Appreciate you hanging out. Stay safe as well. It's ridiculous. They're portraying Maduro if he's Saddam. Yeah. Saddam. Yes. 100%. All of this is a 1-to-1. When we read the justification for this, it's a 1-to-1. The designation of fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. I mean, come on, people. Come on, folks. This is obvious. This is obvious. I was too young back then to see it, because I was, literally a kid, to see the writing on the wall with the war on terror, but I'm not now, and I can see it. I'm too old. My partner's too old, but he has medical training. I have a vagina, so me being younger with the same qualifications voids me being enlisted. No, yeah, I mean, I'm not old, but I'm also not young either. But I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of that. I will, we'll just take things as they come, folks. In the short-form interview on Friday, Trump responded to a comment about Venezuela by touting the administration's attack on alleged drug boats before referring to the strike on a big planter facility that he said took place 2 nights earlier. It seems to be a dock, from what I understand. It seems to be a dock. We just knocked out, I don't know if you read or saw. They have a big planter facility where they send, where the ships come from. He means a dock. A facility where ships come from is a dock. 2 nights ago, we knocked that out, so we hit them very hard. Trump did not provide any details during the interview about the apparent attack on the facility. If it took place in Venezuela, it could be the first known land strike in the U.S. This is not counter-narcotics. Hey, oi. This is not counter-narcotics efforts. This is not about the drug, about stopping the drug trade at all. Unbelievable. How do new fentanyl regulations affect pharmacies, hospitals, and patients? We're all walking weapons of mass destruction. That is not actually what did it, but it's not helping. I agree. You know what radicalizes you? Being a parent with a kid facing a rich man's war. Words are hard indeed. NBC News had not independently confirmed the strike. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment about the president's remarks. Asked by a reporter in Mar-a-Lago on Monday whether the military conducted the attack, Trump said, well, it doesn't matter, but there was a major explosion in the dock area where they load up the boats and the drugs, which again, this is all nonsense. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit the boats and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement. Okay. Jesus Christ. And that is no longer around. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much he's admitting that he's just like striking another country, right? On BS pretenses. The president told the White House reporters that he took the action because the country emptied their prisons. He's still going on with this. He's been talking about this for years. This is not true, okay? This is not happening. This is bullshit. Emptying their prisons into the United States of America, a frequent accusation he has made without providing any evidence, and also because of narcotics trafficking, which again, there is no evidence that like Venezuela is like a massive like drug trafficking state. You can always tell when Trump has to learn a new word. Weapons of mass deception, that's right, or mass distraction. It is about oil, just like 9/11. Yeah, 100%. Never liked Valentine's Day. I wonder if I've ever done one right. I think so. I mean, it's capitalist. It's a capitalist like thing, right? Because like, hey, any day can be Valentine's Day, right? If you have a significant other, any day can be Valentine's Day. You just say we're gonna do something nice tonight, right? Let's go to dinner. Let's watch a movie, or heck, let's not do anything tonight. Let's put on some PJs and some popcorn, and a movie, right? Like any day can be Valentine's Day, right? Not to a poo-poo on any parade that participates, because hey, if you do, you do. I did get an oversized bagel slicer tattooed on my forearm. Nice. Point is, if you're in the checkmate in the real world, it's time for Issue on the Pond Sublist our Major TJ King Kong. I think my perception is it's more of like not being checkmated. It's more of like being put in check, because you can still move if you're in check. Versus if you're in checkmate, there's nothing you can do. It's GG's. I just don't feel like it's GG's yet, if that makes sense. I don't feel like it's GG. Capitalism made it so you have another day to waste money on. True. I'm gonna leave links now because I have to go serve dinner. Homemade chicken soup again. Nice. Hey, that's awesome. Appreciate that, Heat, and take care. Thank you. It is absolutely about consumerism. Yeah, okay, I get it. So, same vibe. Thunder's game tonight, but I will go for the popcorn. I'm in the checkmate of the real world. It's time for others to be held into a checkmate of a higher social and financial standing. Valentine's Day is a ridiculous holiday made to shame you into spending a bunch of money. Yeah, which, like, again, you don't need to. Any day can be Valentine's Day, and even on Valentine's Day, having a nice Valentine's Day doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money either. Heck, going out in nature and experiencing the world together is an awesome Valentine's Day experience, you know? Nadia is a real one. I appreciate her commentary. Could we possibly raise a chap with some education of a leftist nature? Yeah, as a chap is a good friend of the channel. I've raided a couple times before. I kind of like go in cycles, but yeah, absolutely, I don't mind that. I like try to do like a round robin. I eventually get to everybody, you know? But yeah, it's been a second since I've rated as a chap, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. The best thing I do for my wife is give her a day of peace. Hey, that's freaking... Give her a round of applause. Give her 1 second. There you go. I don't mind Valentine's dinner and a movie sounds good. Yeah, heck yeah. I'm sorry, but I can't make myself a communist. It's okay if you're not. I promise if you're not communism's greatest soldier, that you're gonna be fine, okay? If you're not communism's greatest soldier, it's okay. It's okay. In the December phone interview with NBC, Trump declined to rule out a war with Venezuela, so that's fantastic. Earlier, he ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers to and from the country and militarily seized an oil tanker off Venezuela's coast. In the interview with WABC, the station's owner, John Katz, argued that Venezuela is going to provide a lot more oil to the United States if Maduro leaves, referring to Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Well, it's about a lot of things, it's about a lot of things, like how many oil we're gonna get. Oof. Valentine's Day is stupid. Love me every day. I'm worth it. Like that perspective. I'm almost 40. My most memorable Valentine's present was a giant jar of peanut butter and the spoon my boyfriend in 10th grade gave me because he knew I liked it more than candy or a poor rose someone killed. You know what? That is big brain. That is big brain stuff right there. Seriously, big brain stuff. I would actually appreciate that. I love the concept of worker councils and worker co-ops, though. I mean, congratulations. That is socialistic in nature. That's the bare bones concept of socialism. Like that, what you're describing is doing a socialism. So yeah, you're good. It's about that. It's about, they took our oil. They took it. I don't know who. What are you talking about? They took our oil. Is Venezuela like in the United States? I'm confused. Is Venezuela like taking oil from the United States? How's that even happening? They also sent millions of people in there from jails to our country, from jail and worst people on earth. That's not happening. This is just delusional stuff. I don't know, like, if Trump's like inner like fascist like circles, right? Like his inner fascist circle is like showing him like AI videos of like Venezuelan military taking American oil. I'm confused. Like, where could he even be getting this information from? And of course, like, saying that people are coming here from jail has been like a xenophobic and racist trope that he's been saying for years now at this point. But like, who's telling him this stuff? Like, who's telling? They took our oil. Where is he getting this from? Did Venezuela bury our oil under their country? How dare they? Yeah, they require some American freedom. Pronto. Trump then went on to talk about drug trafficking, which the administration has consistently pointed to as the rationale behind the boat strikes, which again, we shouldn't be talking about this. There shouldn't be a framing. The framing that this is about drug trafficking is dishonest, and it is a disservice to the American people reading these publications to even concede and even think about that and even put that out there. This is not about drug trafficking. These are illegal military strikes against God knows who, people, random people, okay? Some possibly fishermen. And it's just not acceptable to even concede a single centimeter on this point. Is a disservice. Conceding a centimeter on this is a disservice to the American people, just like how they did in the war on terror, whatever nonsense. This is unacceptable, and every time we talk about this, we have to reframe it. We have to do media analysis. and put the correct framing about it. This is illegal. These are war crimes. Every time that the military has striked these boats and have killed people, at this point it's like 90 plus, maybe 100 plus as far as we know. These are all war crimes. There's no legal basis on any of this at all. If we were serious about drug trafficking, we'd be sanctioning Bukele instead. Yeah, and we would also be actually dealing with the problem seriously. We would be talking about decriminalization. We would be talking about how we can pour more money into healthcare, right? Which includes rehab programs. If you really want to take care of the drug situation, you would be decriminalizing and destigmatizing drugs. Okay, so that the cartels and all these organized criminal organizations don't have that revenue. But we're not doing any of that. I don't care if they're hardcore drug traffickers. You can't just blow up boats. Yeah, it's 100% a war crime. It's a war crime. It's a war crime. None of these people have been convicted of any crimes whatsoever. And last time I checked, to your point, Globus, the crime for drug trafficking, I don't think the punishment for that is being blown up by the U.S. Navy. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's I don't think that's the punishment, regardless, even if like somehow I don't know, we're in this fantastical timeline of where we found these people guilty. Last time I checked, the crime of drug trafficking, the consequences of drug trafficking is not being blown up by the U.S. Navy. It was 110 last time I checked. That's horrifying. That is horrifying. Yeah, I mean, it tracks, right? There's about over 100 people for sure. Yeah, for sure. Marco Rubio is telling him the story about Latin America in terms of what he needs to send the military to destroy. That doesn't surprise me one bit. One bit at all. One bit at all. Somehow the extreme left is regarded as the most dangerous thing ever, as if guaranteed food and housing and water and healthcare and jobs are so dangerous. Yeah, it's radical. Radical, apparently. It is dangerous. It is the most dangerous thing ever, actually. No, you know what? I understand it. To just kind of steelman this, if I may. It is the most dangerous thing ever in the context of a capitalist hegemony. Yeah. In the context of a capitalist hegemony where capitalism runs the world, the most dangerous thing ever is making sure people have food, housing, education, whatever, all these things. Yeah. In that context, yeah. On the flip side, the way we see it, it's just it's rights. It's just human rights. That's all we're asking. So, I mean, it kind of tells you all you need to know about capitalism. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It made me think about that. Yeah, in the context of capitalist, good counterexample. In the context of capitalism, an ideology that wants people to have a good and healthy life, is pretty dangerous. It's pretty dangerous to the capitalist hegemony, I would say. I got a chicken Caesar wrap and they left off the delicious sauce. So I opened the wrap and added Caesar. Nope, they don't use Caesar. It's different in their dressing. Did you get a chicken snack wrap from McDonald's? Welcome, Raiders. Oh, I didn't know there was Raiders in here, but hey, welcome, everybody. Raid! Well, welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Hey, folks, if you don't know who I am, sorry, YouTube's not really good at this. YouTube is terrible at this stuff. I can't even raid out on YouTube. But hey, if you've never seen me before, I'm A Difficult Truth. I do the news and I do the politics. We're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, you can check out my show on this space at 7 p.m. If you enjoy your stay, feel free to sub to the channel. We're at 420 something or other. We're close to 430. So please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy your stay. Worst raid ever. Welcome. SEAL Team 6 raid. I see that. Yeah, YouTube's not really great at alerting or telling me at all. 57 people watching, one of the highest viewers counts ever. I can't even see any of that. I don't even enjoy that because YouTube is so slow to refresh stats that I can't even see everything. So I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you all. If you enjoy your stay, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate the raid. Raiders of the Last Ark. Nice. All right, folks, we're shifting gears here. I think we're gonna do this last story before we head on out of here. Oh, I see all of you now. Holy crap. Hey, welcome everybody. Oh, No Justice MTG, of course. Hey, thank you so much for the raid, No Justice. Fantastic streamer, fantastic YouTuber. Thank you so much. I didn't realize. You see, YouTube is so poor at this. Thank you so much. Hey folks, if you haven't done so, please check out No Justice MTG. There's a stream on Twitch and there's a stream on YouTube. So please subscribe and follow on Twitch and YouTube. That's No Justice MTG. They are both on Twitch and on YouTube. Fantastic streamer from across the pond. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Verminsky. I appreciate that. Miss Mblala has apparently determined that Christofascism has arrived in Germany via, of course, the AFD. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks 1,000%. Welcome in, innit? Seriously, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the commentary from across the pond. It's always fascinating. Yeah, I know, Soul Life. It's terrible. It's terrible. If YouTube doesn't like, I would rather like there's going to be a day, okay? I can see it in the future. There's going to be a day when we're going to finally be able to see alerts for raids. One day, okay? We're going to be able to see alerts. Helena plays Magic the Gathering. Nice. MTG, that's where it comes from. You sound like Bender minus the Queen's set. Big fan of Bender. Big fan. And of course, there is always, as you can see in the back, ode. There's a tribute, okay, to the crew of the Majority Report. So yeah, big fan. Big fan. Big fan. I just got the Avatar MTG. Oh, really? Nice. I haven't actually checked it out. The last set that I got was Spider-Man, and I actually played a modern tournament to win that box of Spider-Man, because I haven't played a tournament or anything regarding Magic the Gathering for a long time, for years. And I dusted off my old trusty deck, and I took it to MagicCon not that long ago, and I won a modern side event to win that box of Spider-Man. Pretty cool set. I appreciate this is something that the Letter Hack might appreciate. the art for Spider-Man is really, really nice. It's comic booky. When I went to the Magic Con, I got literally a comic book, a Spider-Man comic book, and now I have one saved. It was pretty neat. It's a pretty cool set. I like the artwork. All right, folks, we got one more story, and then we're out of here because it's time. Marjorie Taylor Greene believes she was naive for believing Trump is a man of the people. That's just fantastic. Marjorie Taylor Greene, just now days away from stepping down as Congresswoman of Georgia, has said in her latest mea culpa interview that she was just so naive for believing Trump was a man of the people. Yeah, naive. Marjorie, everyone told you that. Everyone told you that. But okay. But okay. And then it's been to the U.S. to play in Magic the Gathering games. Won some money in one, but is worried about going into future events. She's trans. Yeah, I would be concerned too. At least until all this nonsense is over. I 100% agree. I 100% understand is what I'm saying, because the U.S. is not a safe country at this point. The U.S. is not a safe country, and I totally get where she's coming from. Well, that sucks, Soul Life. Yeah, it is. It's The Guardian. I mean, I agree with MTG that she's naive. RNC's going to push MTG and Stefanik for the RNC post-Trump. Oof, I don't know how that's going to work for her. But yeah, sure. Calling that shit now. Alright, put it on the Poly Market bet. In a lengthy interview with the New York Times that examines her break with the president after years of devotion, Greene explained that in a series of minor ruptures with the president culminated into a total breach after conservative influencer Charlie Kirk was killed in September. The third-term Georgia congresswoman said she was watching Kirk's memorial service on TV when his widow said she forgave her husband's killer, but then Trump took the stage and said that unlike Kirk, a missionary with a noble spirit who did not hate his opponents, Trump said he disagreed. I hate my opponent and I don't want the best for them, Trump said. Greene said that was absolutely the worst statement. It just goes to show where his heart is. Ma'am, look, with all due disrespect, okay? Where was this? Where was this like 10 years ago? What do you mean that, it just now you see where his heart is? It always has been. And that's the difference with her having a sincere Christian faith and proves that he does not have any faith. She is vindictive. Which, hey, look, Godspeed, because I hope she helps tear down the Republican Party. Godspeed. I have one friend, father, a doctor working with refugees in France, Palestinian French. This year he worked with the refugees from U.S., mostly queer people. Should never go back. The crystal fascist stranglehold on power would outlive all of us. I mean, again, it's not safe here. It's not safe for the time, as far as we know. It's not safe right now. It's just not. So I totally don't blame her. I don't blame anyone from any marginalized community refusing to come here, especially when she doesn't technically have to. Yeah, no, it's not safe. MTG's playing both sides clearly. I don't know. She seems like a very true believer kind of deal. It's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say. Only Ireland has recognized that non-refoulement applies to LGBT people fleeing the U.S. It became personal. Clearly, she doesn't care. She didn't care before and still doesn't care about other statements he makes targeting others. Yeah, that's true. She strikes me as someone who is a true believer in this whole MAGA, America First, fascist movement. It seems like her gripe is personal, And I'm okay with that. If she wants to turn that anger against the GOP, against the fascists, Godspeed. We still won't forget all the bad stuff that she's done. Hey, if it ends up being like a genuine 180, okay, then Godspeed. But like, yeah, excuse me if I don't trust her that often. It's more of like, hey, yeah, she should definitely turn her guns to the GOP. I'm completely on board with that. I'm completely 100% on board with that. Quote, as a Christian, I don't believe in doing that, even though she's done exactly that. I agree. She inspired so much hate to people that disagree with her. And she's only upset because that energy is coming from the call is coming from within the house. The worry is that she'll use this to run for higher office later. Maybe. I'm hoping that it's best if she continues to step away from office, from politics. If she wants to focus on activism against Trump, then so be it. Being socialist made me an atheist. That tends to happen, yes. Anna, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How bad could it get in France if Front National becomes the governing party next year? I think that's the far-right party, if I'm correct. And the answer to that is not great, although the French do tend to be a little bit more active when it comes to rising up. It's not just MTG jumping ship. Look at Owens, Tucker, all these tea leaf readers who see the writing on the wall. It's the GOP's over. I hope so. I hope so. I agree with Erica Kirk, who did the hardest thing possible and said it out loud. Green said she later told a friend that that after Kirk died, I realized that I'm part of this toxic culture. I really started looking at my faith and I wanted to be more like Christ. Oh, child. The MAGA landscape post-Kirk has been showing signs of fracture, thank God, and Green has found herself at odds with the administration and Republican positions, declaring war on Gaza a genocide, as well as casting doubt on economic and healthcare foreign policy positions that she says do not prioritize working-class Americans. I was just so naive and outside of politics that it was easy for me to naively believe. In a statement to The Guardian, the White House spokesperson David Engel said President Trump remains the undisputed leader of the greatest and fastest political movement in American history, the MAGA movement. On the other hand, Congresswoman Green is quitting on her constituents in the middle of her term and abandoning the consequential fight we are in. We don't have time for her petty bitterness. Stay mad, both of you. Stay mad. Green breaking with Trump and the Republican leadership in Congress was, she told The Times, completed over a vote to release the investigative files related to sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Green said the Epstein files represented everything wrong with Washington. She said it was a story of rich and powerful elites doing horrible things and getting away with it, and the women are the victims. In a way, yeah, she's right. Although it doesn't do me any good when she's done everything up until this point in the service of Trump and advancing this. But yeah. Yes, please boop the like button and subscribe. After meeting with victims, she claimed Trump called her and yelled at my friends, my friends will get hurt if the files were released. Oof. In the interview, Green said that she had been wrong to accuse Democrats of treason. She acknowledged that she is now a political outcast from both sides of the political divide, and rightfully so. Again, if she wants to take down the MAGA fascist movement and do her part to do that, she can do that on her own, and Godspeed. And I think that she should. I'm like radioactive, she acknowledged. Everyone's like changed. Everyone's like she's changed. I haven't changed my views, but I've matured. I've developed depth and I've learned Washington and I've come to understand the brokenness of the place. So yeah. I think that her story is something that we should kind of monitor as a bellwether to how fractured the MAGA movement is, and I absolutely want her to go to war against the MAGA movement. That's what I want. Yeesh, careful, Soul Life. We should start a fantasy pool bet on who ends up in the GOP/Dem primaries. As far as that goes, we probably can do polls later as we get closer to the midterms. But yeah. She stayed on the job just long enough to get the lifetime pension, make millions, and now is getting out of to enjoy her luxurious life. Yeah, no doubt about it. She's also engaged in insider trading. No doubt about it on that. My thing is, I hope she I hope she just like turns her pettiness against the GOP. That's what I want to happen. Really. I want her to go to war against the GOP. That's exactly what she should do. Alright, folks, it's time for me to get out of here. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back tomorrow on this space at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll just write in votes for Marx, Engels, Lenin, Stalin, Mao, Kim, Ho Chi Minh, Enver, Oaxaca, Fidel Castro, and Thomas Sankara. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. on this space. Maybe there may be a chance New Year's Eve that I might pop in to the Left Past 10 stream on Wednesday night just to say hello on New Year's Eve. But other than that, we are off for the rest of the week after tomorrow. So it's time for me to skedaddle, exactly. Thank you all for being here. If you want to support the channel, there are many different ways of doing so. Please consider checking out all the stuff, all the links, all the things. Thank you to No Justice MTG for the raid. Thank you for bringing your wonderful community over here. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hester, for modding the chat. Thank you for your support with your subs and follows and likes and YouTube subs and all that. Thank you all. And on the YouTube side, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it. And on the Twitch side, thank you all for all your support. You guys are what makes all this channel grow. I appreciate it. Once again, folks, we'll be back tomorrow, this space at 7 p.m. Eastern. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all and hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern on this space. See ya! Yeah, YouTube does that. Thank you, Mayhem Hippie. Yeah. That's okay, Nadia. Alright, hang tight, folks. Hang tight. Alright, folks, we're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.